So for number 4, what we're required to do is that we're required to solve. So we're required to actually find a value that works. So, and you know that these have got the equal sign. So what we want to do for this first one, for A, we want to get the x's on one side of the equal sign and the numbers on the other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write 5x plus 7, and the x we're going to take to the other side of the equal sign. Now it was plus x. If we do the opposite, we minus x, and we're left with equals minus 2. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to collect up my like terms. So I've got 5x's minus an x. I've got 4x's plus 7 equals negative 2. Positive 7, we'll take it to the other side of the equals and do the opposite with it. Instead of plus 7, the opposite is to minus 7. So 4x equals negative 2 minus 7. 4x, down at negative 2, go down another 7, negative 9. And finally, my x is multiplied by 4. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is divided by 4. X equals negative 9 divided by 4. For the next one, what we can do is we can do something called cross multiplying. But we'll do it in one step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides of the equal sign by 5 and by 8. So when I'll do one step at a time. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 5. So 4x divided by 5 times 5 becomes 4x. And then I've got 3x times 5 over 8. Now I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. So the 8 goes across and multiplies. 8 times 4 is 32x. And 3x times 5 is 15x. And next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to work them all out so that I'm going to make my equation equal to 0. So 32x's. Now take this 15x to the other side and it becomes minus 15x because it was plus 15x equals 0. 32 of something minus 15 of something, 17x's equal 0. 17 times what equals 0? The answer has to be 0. So x equals, I could go 0 divided by 17, but I've still got 0. Final answer, x has to equal 0. Right, for the next one, for C, the divided by x plus 1 is tricky. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to take my number, because the number was the last thing that was done, to the other side and subtract it. So I'm just going to write here, I'm going to go 33 over x plus 1 equals x minus 7. And then I'm going to take my x plus 1, which is dividing, and I can put brackets around it to keep it together, to the other side of the equals and multiply by it. So I'm going to write 33 equals x minus 7, and I'll put brackets around that to keep it tidy as well, times x plus 1. And next what I'm going to do is I'm going to expand out my brackets using FOIL. So x squared minus 7x plus 1x minus 7, and rewrite it as x squared equals minus 7 plus 1 is minus 6x minus 7. Okay, The only thing I can see to do next is to take the 33 to the other side of the equals, and I've got 0 equals x squared minus 6x minus 7, and this is going to become minus 33. So minus 7 minus 33 is going to be minus 40. So if we take away 7 and we minus off another 33, we're subtracting 40. My next step is to look for two numbers that multiply together to give me negative 40. Maybe 10 and negative 4. 10 and negative 4. Or negative 10 and 4. We'll try that. Negative 10 and 4. Negative 10 times 4 is, in fact, when you multiply them, negative 40. Negative 10 plus 4, when you add them together, is negative 6. So I'm going to use this combination here. So I'm going to write 0 equals x minus 10, x plus 4. So I've taken the numbers and just put x in front of them and put them into brackets. Now when two things multiply together to give you 0, either the first one equaled 0, so either x minus 10 equaled 0, or x plus 4 equaled 0. So x equals positive 10, or x plus 4 equals 0, x equals 0 minus 4, x equals negative 4. So those are my two solutions. And for D, this is an inequation, and I've got to keep on working with the inequality sign. So I'm going to work with it as if it were an equation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the x's on one side and the numbers on the other. So this minus 3 here, I'm going to take to the other side of this inequation sign, 8x plus 2. Now it was minus 3, it's going to become plus 3. So 4x is less than or equal to 8x plus 5. Okay, I want my x's on one side and my numbers on the other. So what I'm going to do is this 8x, I'm going to bring him to the other side. So it's going to be 4x minus 8x. I'll write it out. 4x, it was plus 8x, do the opposite. Minus 8x is less than or equal to 5. 4x's minus 8x, we're at 4, we go down 8, negative 4x is less than or equal to 5. Now, the last thing to happen is that my x is multiplied by negative 4. To undo that, we're going to divide by negative 4. Here's a really crucial point. When times or divide by negative, turn sign around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to write x is greater than or equal to 5 over negative 4. Keep the number negative, only turn around the sign, so x is greater than or equal to negative 5 over 4. Just a tidier way of writing what's above.